Hello and welcome to another Adobe Illustrator tutorial, and in this video we are going to learn how to create a table using Adobe Illustrator. Let's get started. So as you can see, I've already opened my Adobe Illustrator and I have a table that we're going to recreate using this amazing Adobe Illustrator tutorial. And as you can tell, this is an example of a table that you can create. You can create various tables for various uses, whether you want to create a flyer, a poster, or you want to basically create something for social media. So we'll be creating this particular table. Let's get started. So I will delete this one by hitting space. So the very first thing we want to do is to navigate to the toolbar and select the rectangular grid tool. In most cases you may not find it here if you don't use it often, and in that case you want to navigate to view. In that case you want to navigate to window, workspace, and ensure that you have selected Essentials Classic. And once you do that, then you should be able to see the rectangular grid tool is one of the tools here. Otherwise, if you already have it, you just need to and in most cases you find that the tool that is default is the line tool. So you want to click here, hold until the rectangular grid tool appears, and you select it once. Once you do that, in your artboard, this white space we are calling artboard, you want to click anywhere that you want to start drawing the table and click once. And then a dialog box will pop up here. Basically, this is where you are going to outline the number of rows and the number of columns that you want your table to have. What is important to note here is that if you want your table to have a certain number of rows and columns, you should always input one less, or one row, one column less. To illustrate, we want to create a table with three. We want to create a table with three columns. We want to create a table. For instance, we want to create a table with 4 rows or 4 horizontal rows. So in this case, I'll put 3. For our vertical and for our columns, we want to create 3 columns. So in this case, I'll type 2, so that once Illustrator adds 1, I'll have 3 rows, 3 columns. And once Illustrator adds 1 more rows, I'll have 4 rows. Once you have done that, you can choose to select fill grid and use outside rectangle as a frame. In this case, I'll just select them and I'll say OK. As you can see, we already have a small table here. I want to pick here. This is called the selection tool. Basically, to select your item, whatever it is. So you want to drag over it until you see those corners, and then you hold one of the corners. While holding shift, you drag it so that it retains the dimensions. But in case you don't want to retain the dimension, you can basically just drag it the way you want. Okay, you keep dragging until you have the shape that you are most interested in, or the length or the size. So this has already been filled with color because I was using this particular color while designing the example table. So in case you want to change the color, you can double click and select the color that you wish or you want to see in that particular table. I think I'll just stick with this one. And for when you click this table, you can see some lines drawn over it. Those are the borders that we created. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create or add some stroke here, and I'm going to ensure that this stroke is a different color. So you can put it to be black so that you can see the table. Okay, and then I'll say I don't want this table to have any color. Okay, so you just click here and your table won't have any color. And then so that you can be able to see it, you want to add stroke to be like 2 or 3 points. so that's easily visible for you. All right, basically 2 points should be enough, because 3 points will make it more thick. So once we have this table now, probably you don't want this table to have the same size of, they're not the same size, because some items that you're going to write here, they might be have many more words than others. So you can double click and start dragging this by holding the arrow, the right arrow on your keyboard. Okay, this is the left and right, we have top and down. Okay, so this one also you double click, remember, so that line is active. So once you are satisfied, you double click again, and now it is time to add our text. Remember the previous table that I showed you, we had, first of all, we had a title here. It was Joe, Bed and Breakfast 2022 rates. The text is too small, so we want to highlight it and hold shift so that the size is visible. We can click here, we can see here, these are the align tools, alignment options. So if you click, for instance, if you click this, you see where it sends our text, but I want it to be at the center. Even this one, you can align it by clicking here, horizontal align center. All right, so once you have done that, you have added your text. This text, you can customize it, you can change the color of the text if you want. In this case, we can even double click here to make it black or blue. All right, so now we want to start putting here the details. So you just click the text tool, this letter T, and you click where you want to add your text. Here I'll say room category, and because I want it to be a bit bigger, the font, I want the font to be bigger, so I'll select the this is called the eyedropper tool, and I want you to see what it's going to do. It's going to copy the color and the font and the size of this title and put it here. So we now have our room category. Now we don't have to keep typing, we don't have to keep pressing the text tool again. If you want to copy this room category text so that it fits here, you just need to select it, and then while you are holding, while you have selected it, hold shift and alt at the same time and drag to the direction that you want. If you want it there, you just drag, and then once you are comfortable with the new location, you release and you type here. I want to say what had we indicated here? We had indicated that was the room category. This is the double room. Okay, in case it's too big, you can click character. Okay, and then you can reduce the size so that it can fit into the area here. Okay, then you repeat the same. You don't want to keep adding extra text tools or text elements. You just need to click this one and hold, then hold alt and shift at the same time and drag. And now here we are going to write single room. Okay, and just as we did with this copying of this text, we want now to fill the figures here and the other values and the other text that we want. So what you do, you select room category, you select double, and you select single. And the way you select all of them is that you select, once you select the first text, which is room category, then you hold shift and you don't release. You hold shift and don't release, then you select any other text that you want to select. I've selected double, selected single. You can even select the title if you want, but in this case we are not interested in copying the title. You just want to copy the 3. So once you have done that, hold Alt on your keyboard while still holding Shift. You have not released Shift. Now you are also holding Alt, and then you drag the and then you drag until you are comfortable with the new location. Still, you want to fill the rest of the text fields. So again, and you repeat the same until your table is full, depending on the number of columns you want. The number of rows you created when you are creating the table, you might keep copying. All right, so now we have that one. So this one we are going to change it to standard room. All right, here we are going to put the amount, the dollar amount. We can say $100, and here we can say single room. We can say this is going to be $80. Okay. We move to here, the other one. This one we can say this is comfort room, because a hotel can have various room categories so that they can charge differently. So this one will say $120, and this one will say it's $100. And in case they have another category as well, here you can say this one is a superior room, and they are charging $140. These are arbitrary figures. You can, I'm assuming your client has given you the correct values to use. So once you have done that, there is something you are noting, that these figures are not well centered. So you're going to hold Shift and select all of them, and then using the button, what do we call this button? The left and right buttons on your keyboard that basically tell your keyboard or your item to move to the right or left. I don't know what you call them, but they are arrows. The left and right arrows, up arrows. If I want to go up, down, like that. So basically, down your keyboard to your bottom right of your keyboard, you find them. They are up, they are left, right, up, and down button arrows on your keyboard. Okay, so once you have done that, now you can decide to change the color. Say you don't want the color of the text to be blue, so you select all of them. We said you hold Alt, you hold Shift, and select all the text that you want, and then you navigate to here, you double click, and you choose a different color that you want. In this case, I can choose black. Black is here, and once you do that, your table now has the black text. You can even take it a step further and say, I want the color of the room category, the title to have a background color. So what you'll do, you have to get creative here. Let me zoom a bit so that you can see. So you want to create a shape tool. You navigate to shape tool, select rectangular tool, and I'm going to select to align my path with the very first row. But before I extend it, I want to first select all these texts at the header, category, double, single, select all of it, right click, and I'll say arrange, bring to front. When you bring them to front, then when you are creating this rectangular shape, and you drag all the way to the end there, now your text is in front, and you can change the color of this rectangular shape you have just added by using this, we call it the eyedropper tool, and you pick the color that you want. I'll just pick the blue color, and once I've convinced, I'm done. And you can see, because the color of our shape. Rectangular shape is the same as the one we used the text. That's why we can't see the text. But now we want to change that color by selecting all the three texts, and then we take the eyedropper tool. I want white, and I'm good. In case you don't want to use the eyedropper tool, you can just double click here and select any other color that you want. You might want even yellow, right? And that will be your color. So as you can see, we have managed to recreate a table. Of course, at the first instance, it might look to be too difficult to do it, but it's so easy once you get used to using Adobe Illustrator. I hope this tutorial was useful. If you learned something, even if it's just something new, something small, something little, please subscribe so that you can motivate me to create easy tutorials for you to follow. In case you have any questions, in case you have a tutorial you'd want me to create on Adobe Illustrator, please let me know in the comment section. If you loved this video, please give me a thumbs up. Tell me something on the comment, encourage me in the comment section. If there is something you'd want me to improve, also let me know in the comment section, and I'll be so happy to improve on my next video. Until next time, thank you for watching and enjoy, and we stand with Ukraine during this difficult time. Bye bye.